Bonjour, and hello, everybody. You are listening to Worldwide Tea. It is the one and only podcast where every single week we recap and cover and commentate on all of the workings of the international drag race franchises that are always a happening. We keep you updated. And as always, I'm Evan Sawdey from Pop Matters.
I'm Gregory Ellwood from the playlist. Evan, how are you doing on this weekday night? We're back to our Slasian Royale scheduling to give it to the fans.
To give it to you. Absolutely. Well, listen, Greg, if there's anything, we are generous, we are kind people, we are caring, and we want to make sure our fans are taken care of. So, fans, in case you aren't aware, if you're listening to this on Spotify or another platform, make sure you check out our YouTube page because, for one, we just posted my interview that I did with Anya Nerve, the winner of US Season 17. It was a lovely little chat. We're talking about her hosting the new show Hello, 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 which is the after show that Kyron Thrax was running for a little bit. All the eliminated queens go to her and they go through their audition tapes. It's really fun. It was a lovely interview. She was smiling the whole time. Check it out. We always want to make sure we can provide. That's the key thing more than anything else. But Greg, we've talked about it. We had our Meet the Queens about it. One of the queens from the show commented on it. Baby, it's UK versus the world time.
It is.
Going into this, what was your? I mean, you heard our Meet the Queens. You kind of knew our feelings about this, but like, I just need to know, just base level, what is your immediate thought coming out the gate for this season? Now that we've seen the first episode,
My immediate thought was, is anyone going to watch? And oh wait, before the episode or now that we've seen the episode? Which one?
now that we've seen the episode, I mean, but also there was that concern: would anyone watch? Because as we discussed,
I think we have to get through the episode before I get my thoughts.
Okay,
But my bigger thought was, is anyone going to watch? And I did have a friend message me today that they thought it was like watching a new season of a new franchise because they knew so few of the queens. And right. I maybe that's smart. Maybe that's a good thing. You know, maybe in the long run that will help. But I'm super curious how it plays out. And my guess is it's going to play out better overseas than maybe in the UK, but we're going to find out. We'll see.
Yeah. We will see, baby, and I'm so excited for it. Thoughts or things you want to do before you jump into it?
No, I just want to say, remember, as always, as we will say before every episode of this UK versus the world, two things. First, well, actually, I will let Evan do our respectful mantra preamble, but I will also say before every episode of this, remember, it doesn't matter if you hear an American voice speaking to the queens as a story editor. The BBC is going to BBC. Just remember that. Remember that.
They always do, every single time. Well, the thing is that I don't know what the BBC's rules are, but in this House of Love, we believe that all drag is valid and that no queen ever deserves online hate. And as American entertainment journalists, we may not get every reference and we always appreciate corrections. And there are some truly great queens who aren't good at Drag Race, and we love them all the same. Although I'll be honest, after this one episode, there's one queen who I'm like, maybe you should have waited a little bit longer. But overall, I think for the most part they did pretty good.
I think I know what queen that is.
I think you do. I think you do.
Speaking of these queens, as they do on UK versus the world, they don't enter the workroom. They re-enter the stage because and I finally figured it out because they left going through the stage, so they should come back coming out on the stage. And first up is Kate Butch. Evan, any thoughts before I give my rundown?
All I can say is that I was surprised how basic this entrance look was that she had on the stage. It was fine. But the thing is that it is so clear, and we knew this going into it, she is going to be the narrator of the season. She is funny. She was pretty much the narrator of UK Season 5. Just a delight. I cherish every second on screen with her, and she just feels in command, and that is just a lovely thing to feel.
My take was I liked the silhouette. It made her look thin. It made it was really well made silhouette in that way. I wish the wig was a little bit bigger, but in general, I thought it was a fine look. She had fun. She ate some chips out of her clutch. And she said she's going to do whatever she needs to, including being nice to Michelle. So she's got all her Drag Race, mantras and witty like comebacks. She's ready to go. And she teases that she's going to have better runways than her original season, which
Yes.
is a low bar. I didn't think she was that bad. We've had way worse
Right.
queens, but she was a little basic. So let's see what she
Yeah.
can do. And teasing, she does do something interesting later on, sort of. Up next, the runner-up to one of my all-time favorite seasons,
Mm-hmm.
Drag Race Verge, or as we should really call it in English, Drag Race Sweden, and Fontana, who also now wants to remind everyone she's from Brazil because she wants that fan base. I thought it was an incredibly beautiful winged outfit. We've seen this before, but this one, something about the color and the proportions and how it looked, I thought was fantastic. And she was talking about her season, and I have to tell you, Evan, I forgot how good she was because we will probably mention this a couple of times. She went up against an all-timer, an Admira Thunderpussy, who, by the way, I was telling this to a friend, if Admira Thunderpussy went on All Winners 2, she would pull a Vivian. She would probably make it to the top 4, shock everyone, but kill almost every single challenge. That's how much confidence I have in Admira Thunderpussy. And Fontana almost won. She was so great that season. But also, I was also like, I needed to ask a friend this too. I forgot to. She says she's Latina. I didn't think Brazilians were Latina if they were Portuguese. I'm sort of confused, but I don't want to say that. But maybe I'm wrong. Do we know?
Yeah. So with Fontana, I remember obviously, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, she was born in Brazil, and I can't remember her specific cultural heritage on there, but yeah, she just basically had Brazilian words. That's all I could do. Yeah, that's as far as I can specifically say. But yeah, otherwise, just still an incredible look, I must say, out the gate. She is kind of stunning, honestly. And also, I love her. She has a lot of the best faces that I've seen so far in this episode. Just amazing reaction shots all the way straight through. And she's also the second Swedish queen to compete after, of course, Vanity Vane. So she has a lot to live up to, a lot of good lip syncs to try and live up to. So just incredible entrance look out the gate. Holy.
Up next is fan of the pod, I hope.
Fan of the pod, a friend of the pod, yes.
Friend of the pod. Hopefully she's forgiven us for any of our takes on Drag Race Season 3. Although, to be honest, we were sort of right.
I mean,
she shows up in a fantastic boxing-inspired outfit. This top was jeweled beyond belief. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. She tells everyone, I'm a little bitch from Thailand. And she says, you want to fight? I'm going to punch your face down, baby. Oh, that was super cute. Kate has no idea who she is. No clue.
Right.
No idea. But Fontana does know who she is. And I just realized while watching Gawdland, I was like, are people going to think that Thailand season 3 was a good season? Because
right. I've seen so many memes already happen of people like, I don't know who this is, but I want to hold her and protect her. I'm like, you don't know what me and Greg have gone through. We watched arguably one of the worst international seasons since like Down Under 1. It is such a bad season. And so like we really didn't have a lot of good things to say. Our queen, Sriam Pushi, she got her semi kind of sort of redemption on Station Royale. So we're like, okay, we're good. We're set. Has she always been this funny? She was fucking hilarious through this entire entrance thing. I was so deeply impressed.
I think she's more comfortable on
yes.
television and on screen and in front of cameras than she was before. And also, to be honest, she has absolutely nothing to lose. And that when
100%.
you do a competition like this, and also part of it when you go in knowing, well, chances are, Marina Summers was amazing and still lost. Like, I mean, just go and have a good time. And if you make it to the end, maybe they'll actually crown someone not from the UK. You never know. I mean, by the way, I'm not even saying that like facetiously. I'm like serious.
Yeah.
Like maybe. Up next, speaking of a queen from the UK, Zahira.
that is truly how I think of her. A queen from the UK, assuredly.
Zahira.
Zahira.
I still don't understand why she says it that way. I'm okay with this outfit. I didn't love it. Thought it was fine. But she looks beautiful, and Fontana immediately says she wants to know where the ugly ones are because everyone's coming out beautiful. She tells Kate, not Kate, but I think Fontana or Gawdland that she was 10th, but is rewriting 10th place right here, right now. And I like that attitude. That's sort of smart. And she thinks she's going to win, which I love that for her. But she's British, so she has a 33.3% chance of winning. So
you know what?
I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. We're not even.
I know.
We're
You're
not
just
even watching.
stating pure facts
We're-
as I know. All I can say is that man, oh man, Greg. I have a lot of notes for a lot of these queens and these entrance looks, and for Zahira, I just wrote sure. Like it's. The thing is that like as you've seen actually before we should mention this. Greg sent me a really cool video a while ago, like after the cast was announced, of like her interviewing her current self versus her past self. Like it was this very fun little thing. Like it was clever, it was cute, there was a lot of nice elements to it, but like I just don't know what she does successfully, if I'm being so real. I did think it was fun that when Kate Butch would just immediately quoted Zahira like a sexy spider, her verse from Dead or Alive from her UK season.
Uh,
But like this entrance look is okay. Like again, not every entrance look has to be a gangbanger, but like my God, after you see what Fontana's wearing, it's like what else are we doing here? Come on, for real.
yeah, I was surprised how little sparkle it had. Like it was well made, but it was a little plain.
Hmm.
Um,
Yes.
my thing with Zahira is she wasn't on her season very long, and
Hmm.
but before she went on, even when they were rumored, many UK drag observers thought she was a front runner because she's known for her performances and her looks, and like she was not seen as like a weak competitor. And when she
Hmm.
went home early, it was like a surprise. So
Hmm.
I I don't. I'm hoping she surprises here, but maybe she's better at something we don't know because we never saw her do it. We never saw her. Did we see her do Snatch Game? I don't think we even did.
No, I don't think you made it to that point, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
So maybe we'll be surprised. But again, she thinks she's gonna win. Um,
absolutely. And love that for her.
love that
Love
for
that
her.
for you. Maybe not for me.
Not
Thank
for
you,
me.
pal.
The queen that I am super excited to keep.
Bitch.
Speaking of the legacy of Drag Race Sweden, now the legacy of Drag Race Germany finally gets someone who's up to the task with the only Naomi who reminds us how she was robbed in that lip sync with
Uh-huh.
Testicle. She 100% won that lip sync, and Tessa did not.
100%.
They kept her because God knows why. Um,
Yes.
but the good news is Fontana knows who she is. Naomi works a lot. Like she's known in that part of Europe. She works a lot. Uh, she has a bag that says Tussie, and I can't remember.
She has a helmet that says Tussie,
Oh, it's a,
that she took off. Exactly. And then Zahira tries to wear it for a little bit too, and there's comedy ensues.
what does it mean again? She did say what it meant, and I can't remember. It was
Yes, something cunty and gay from what I
yeah,
recall correctly. But
something like
yes, it
that.
is exactly.
But her branding is she knows how to brand, and I'll give her
Hmm.
that. She's like, I am blonde, pretty, basic, and sometimes a bit of a bitch. But she says it
Hmm.
with a smile. Also, she speaks better English than the UK queens. And you talk about how you think Kate is going to be the voice of the season. The only Naomi is going to be the talking head of the season as long as she survives because she is concise, she is funny, she is self-deprecating, and she explains everything without it sounding like a Netflix movie. So
Hmm.
I was impressed. And she says, "Am I a fashion queen?" She won't say that, but she does claim the best mug in Germany, which okay, we don't really have a big comparison to that. I mean, Metamorkid's from Switzerland, so like I don't
Yeah.
or Austria? No, Switzerland.
No, she actually from Austria, I thought. Yes, never mind.
Austria, yeah.
Metal Orchid was. I could be wrong,
Um,
but yeah,
and she did laugh and say, "I was runner up from the bottom because she
which
won."
I thought was amazing, incredible. Right.
I love the
Uh,
look,
all
though.
I,
What did you think?
all I can say is that my God, she's fucking stamped. Like that mug, I could get into that for days. I was just so impressed. Like it was a good look. It was a solid look. And actually, I take that back. Metamorphosis is from Vienna, Austria. But man, oh man, just incredible. And again, we talked about. I mentioned her on that lip sync when we did our episode of the Countdown of International
Yeah.
Lip Syncs. It was at the bottom of my list, but she so impressed me. She's ready for her moment. I'm so happy she's here, and I love that out the gate she's already proving why. And I got to be honest, at this point, we've seen five queens so far, Greg, and I'm like low key, I'm like, did what we think is happening? Is it like, even though it's kind of lesser queens or whatnot, like, are they gonna bring it? And like, I'm kind of feeling it. I'm not gonna lie, feeling the fantasy.
Hey,
Yeah.
are there nine of them or 10 of them?
There are 10. I think yeah, there's 10.
So nine of them are going to bring it. We'll get to the one that isn't very soon. But
Yeah.
actually, maybe eight of them. Speaking
I
of one
thought we
that
already did.
might not bring it, she brought it many times before. Mariah Balenciaga, the mug, the ballroom diva. she comes out and she says, "I'm the only OG who doesn't have fillers," which is, I mean, I believe her actually.
Hmm.
That's funny. When I saw, we were talking earlier on our Meet the Queens about you thought her mug looked so good and that she'd had work, and I was like, I think it's makeup, and I didn't think it looked
Hmm.
good. When she came out on the stage here and in video, I thought her mug looked much better
Hmm.
when she came out. But you can also tell it's stamped and it's a mug. She does not have filler. She is shading her. She is literally like painting her face in a way a lot of these other queens aren't anymore. She, by the way, she has no shame of any, not even shame, but like she is like blunt and honest and proud. And she's
Hmm.
like, I've been doing drag for 25 years. Um, I think one of the queen, maybe did Gawdland say she's ancient or was it Zahira? Someone said she's ancient.
I think it was Goblet. I think so. Yeah.
But Zahira does mention that she watched her first season that she ever watched Drag Race was season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race, the flagship, which Mariah was on. And then Naomi, one of my favorite parts of the episode, calls her out and says, "Do you recognize any of us?" And she goes, "You can ask my age, but don't ask if I remember."
Ask if I remember you. Like low key iconic, low key iconic. I will counter though. She says she's the only queen that doesn't have filler. I mean, we do need a filler queen every season. She's doing that role.
Oh,
But most thing I will say, her confessional look was interesting to me.
yeah.
Because she kind of looks like Bruno Mars's dentist. Like I can't really say it. Meanwhile, Gawdland's look when she's wearing this little suit with like this kind of like Art Deco little like flower thing. Oh, loved it. Surprised. Loved it. Yeah.
Up next is Minty Fresh, Drag Race
Uh,
Philippines. Wait, did
uh,
I? Oh no! My God, how could I forget? Apologies, I skipped ahead. Our third UK queen, the one and only Sminty Drop, arrives, and she comes out with this clutch, which is of a skull, and she drops it like the
your
jaw
jaw
drops.
is
She
gonna
says,
drop.
"Consider your jaw dropped," and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that could have been clunky, but you made it work, and it's smart. Um, she wants to win a badge this time, and the one thing I took away from, especially from her confessional, and it starts here, is she is cute and she's adorable, and she is like, there is a self-deprecating part of her here that I don't remember from her first season. She feels a little bit more grown up, and she just looks like she's gonna have fun. And
Hmm.
there's an energy she had that I was like, I sort of love this. Also, I completely forgot how amazing her freaking runways were and how she kept getting robbed every episode of her season.
Hmm.
What
Yeah.
do you think?
Like that was her thing. She was the fashion girl over here. I'll be honest, not crazy about this entrance look. I thought it was
Oh,
fine. I thought it
okay.
was pretty okay. I mean, I like the barbed wire leggings detail, but like it was just kind of a short little black dress and it was fine.
Yeah.
I do I do think her mug is pretty great. I think it's kind of fantastic. It's weird because like I just get so many parallels just in terms of facial structure, in terms of other things from page 3. And as we know, if anyone's listened to this pod, big page 3 fan, love her. And like I just got just such good energy off her. I love her confessional look because it kind of reminded me of Georges's, where I just want to scream your non-binary T is valid. Like it's just fantastic. But like low key, I'm just so happy that she's here and she seems to be having fun. I'm just already out the gate so happy. Just it's just great. Yeah.
The one thing that sort of surprised me is she is so similar to the only Naomi in sort of like their aesthetic and what they do.
Hmm.
They're both, although to be honest, when they stood next to Naomi must be like 6'4", because in heels she's towering over Kate and Smitty
Right.
later on. And I always thought Smitty was tall, but I maybe not. Um, but they're very similar length. It's surprising that, especially on a all starsy queens from all around the world, that they would pick two queens from the same lane. I I'm wondering who dropped out or what made them do what they. I think a lot of people said no, but still sort of surprised.
Juju B, you disappointed once again. How dare you? I can't.
And UGB. But I got ahead of myself because I was so momentarily excited. From Drag Race Philippines, who was one of my favorites in the first season.
Mhm.
And at the time, I thought she was robbed. I don't know about now. Minty Fresh. comes out. Um, you like, oh my God, what did you, I think I wrote, you like what you see, I know you do. Is that what she said? Something like
That sounds about right. Yeah.
that.
You like what you see? I know you do.
Yes, that's what she said. Gawdland and Zahira are shook. They like cannot believe she's here. Um, I will say, her aesthetic seems a bit more demure than what she like presented on her first season. I sort of liked the stuff she was doing on Drag Race Philippines so far a bit more. Like this is a little too demure for me. Um,
Yeah.
but that's just my take right now. Maybe it will change. Zahira knows her very well. She is like cannot stop talking about it. And Minty says that she was robbed for a spot in the finale, and she is asked if she's going to take revenge from Marina Summers losing, and she sort of is like, "Sure, yeah, okay, yeah, that's my
Yeah.
storyline. I'm here for revenge." What did you think?
It was a good look. It was a good, solid look. But it is the thing where I think of all the queens here, to be fully blunt and honest with you, I don't. I think she might have the worst English out of anyone. I think she's the one where she genuinely seems uh present, but at the same time, there's such a reservedness to her. And somewhat remember that from her Philippine season. There was a lot of fighting that was going on during that first season of Philippines. And for those who aren't aware, and I think we talked about this in the context of our Meet the Queens, but she got fucked pretty bad on her season because they gave a makeover challenge in COVID where her ill mom had to come through, and all she could do the entire time was just worry about her and her health and her exposure and everything. So like it was a raw deal in that sense too. Uh, she's here. It's the kind of thing where it's like, I don't know where that oomph, where that energy is, and like even from her confessionals, like it's just already kind of like just a little bit toned down. So I'm excited to see. I'm ready for her to surprise me, but just out the gate, I'm like, this is nice. The enthusiasm of her name and my recognition of her is one thing, but what she's presenting right now is just kind of a little bit not on the same level as what else I've been seeing so far, to be brutally honest.
So correct me if I'm wrong, was she part of the contingent that was sort of like bitchy towards brigading? There was like a whole
I
group.
I can't remember that because I know she was just fighting with Silhouette the entire fucking time. And
Silhouette.
also, and I
Yes.
was Team Silhouette. I'm so sorry. She was a bitch, but she was right about a lot of things. But I'm just saying, putting that out there. Speaking of Rob Queens, but it was a very contentious. That whole season was very contentious out the gate. So yeah, lots of things are there. Iconic television, but yeah, she's due for a redemption. I'll say that at the very least.
She is. I do agree with you. The energy seems off though, and I
Right.
don't get it. And it makes me think, do I need to go back and watch Drag Race? You know what? If you're a Drag Race Philippines fan, if you are in the Philippines, if you know these queens, give us a comment, give us some context to like why you think Minty might be so much more quiet here. Because even when they came back for Slation Royale, I didn't feel
Yeah.
like personalities outside of Bernie, who definitely was in a different headspace, but was still
Hmm.
Bernie. Like
Right.
this feels different, and I'm not sure why. Although to be honest, she's waited the most years out of
Hmm.
all them. Although this did
Hmm.
shoot a month before Slation, so sort of weird. Uh,
Yeah.
who's up next is actually the queen I think who's speaking the worst English, Evan.
Oh.
That is Serena Moreno from Drag Race Mexico. And the first thing I wrote in all caps is not one of these other queens have any idea who she is. They have
Why
no
would they?
idea.
Why would they,
They
Greg?
don't.
There's no reason to.
But she comes out and she's wearing this like sort of hooded look, and she says, "I'm gonna pray for these sinners," and then she puts the hood down and says, "But let's have a siesta," which I thought was a fun like idea. Um, She reminds everyone that she was eighth, but that she had really bad looks on her season. As Evan and I discussed in Meet the Queens, I always thought she went home first, but she didn't because that
She
was
did not.
Pixie Pixie, who was completely robbed. And I totally forgot Serena Moreno existed. And I just like her English is not great. And as the
Mhm.
episode went on, I was sort of surprised. She's like 10% better than Galavara, like barely better than Galavara. But she does also say that she is a comedy and sensual queen, which I'm
Mhm.
wondering if that's what she actually meant to say and it just came out wrong. Uh,
Oh, oh. I think that's what she meant to say because let's also not forget that in that whole thing, she also says it's an orgasm to be here. So it's like, and then her talent show number for those who aren't aware, she's just ready. Listen, she's ready to squirt all over this competition, baby. Let me tell you, it is, it's kind of.
And also, can we talk about get getting shots like from across the Atlantic after someone says to her, "You were judged by Valentina, right?" And she and they go, "Are you happier?" And she's like, "Yes, I'm happier to be judged by Ru now." These pot shots at Val, Jesus Christ, she's already let go from that like franchise. Give her a break. Damn.
Man, the plot armor that Banana has, let me tell you, it is quite something.
It is something. Before the last queen comes out, Fontana,
Thank you.
who might have thought all the queens had come out, I actually think, um, warns everyone that she has severe anxiety. Which, by the way, I randomly remember this from Sweden. Like this came up at
Oh.
some point. And that she pukes. She obviously when she has anxiety, she gets stomach issues.
Hmm.
Um, and Mariah jokes she doesn't mind holding her hair back while she pukes in a
Yep.
bucket,
Yep.
which I thought was a nice warning. It was also Fontana making it a little bit about herself. But
Hmm.
that's okay, Evan, because please tell us who is up next who will 1000% make it about herself.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, Greg. There's nothing I think about in terms of humbleness and kindness when I think of the Canadian diva herself. Melinda Verga comes out in her custom hockey couture outfit, ready to go. The thing I'll say though, Greg, is that no matter what you have to say, everyone seems to know her except Mariah, but everyone seems to know Melinda Verga.
No, Mariah knows her. She's pretending she doesn't know who she is because
Yeah.
Melinda Verga says, "I met you in LA, bitch." They probably did
Hmm.
showgirls together or something, and or like a long like they were there at Hamburger Mary's or like
Yeah.
some touring thing in Palm Springs. But she does. I think Kate knows her with gratitude line, which was her iconic one of her iconic things she said during the one of the most memorable Drag Race Canada workroom moments ever that went viral online, and more people know that and have seen it than I've ever watched around the world a Canada's Drag Race episode. I will say this: her mug looks terrible. Like she thinks she's had a glow up. And let me tell you, Sugarcane on season 10, 11, whatever it was,
See, oh, she's 11, yes.
she she looks like a porcelain goddess next to this. Like this is bad.
I will always remember Greg during her original season when Melinda Verga's like, man, she had this blow up. This is terrible. Next episode, win snatch game. Oh shit, she's a thing. Next episode, lip sync palooza does pretty okay. My God, is she gonna take it? Then the next episode, it's a makeover challenge. Everyone's like, we're done. It's over, and that's exactly what happened. So, if that happens again, I worry because you can see what we're working with on here. But as always, she's willing to play the role. I think she wants to be the person the producers go to for a quote, but I don't know if that's necessarily the role that she should be playing. That's my own thing about it. But hey, everyone knows she's viral, she's amazing, she's a lot of things.
And she admits that she's emotional and can be
Hmm.
blunt.
Hmm.
And she's known for her world famous meltdown. Uh, but again, you're right. Mariah says she has no idea who she is. And I think this is Mariah just playing for cameras. And I'm like,
Yeah.
good for you, Mariah. If that's what you're going to do, you're going to do. But more excitingly, we have no more queens. Because I don't know if we could deal with any more queens that most of our listeners have no idea who they are. But RuPaul like suddenly comes out tap dancing, but
Hmm.
it's not really RuPaul.
Definitely RuPaul. Definitely RuPaul. I don't know what you're talking about, Greg.
But the guy who did do it posted on Insta, and he's quite hot, like as you'd expect.
Just saying.
Which reminds everyone that they are all here to potentially be the next queen of the mother tucking world, and
Hmm.
to win £50,000, which the only Naomi correctly notes that with the current exchange rates is worth more euros than pounds because the euro is more valuable. Um, and she lets the queens know they are going to do the musical event of the year, the RuRuVision Song Contest. And you don't know how excited I was when I saw that this was the episode she was judging. My girl, my queen, the two-time Eurovision champion, who, dear God, please come and tour the United States. Loreen, if you're listening, we're begging. Loreen, And if you don't know Loreen, if you go to Spotify and look her up, you've definitely heard Euphoria randomly at some gay club at like 2 in the morning. And you might have heard her most recent big song, Tattoo, and she has a new album coming. Shocking that she would announce it just 2 days before being on a big global gay television show. Shocking. Evan, any thoughts on Loreen being there? Any thoughts on this potential challenge, which is basically
Uh,
singing talent challenge?
So here's the thing I love about this challenge, Greg, is that like, listen, we're gonna do a talent show. However, we know how this works. Just do an original song. We don't give a shit. Just you're doing an original song slash talent number. It's fine. We're ready for it. We're embracing it. I just love that they just don't give a shit anymore. We know what's happening. So that part I loved. I thought it was fantastic. I was very confused as to what the challenge was there, but then once it happened, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, very lovely. Love that Loreen was here. Wish she said a little bit more in the critiques, but overall, like very happy. It's a good vibe so far. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised how good the vibes are at this rate, even when they go back into the workroom. Yeah.
And they go into the workroom, they find their spots. Kate is very proud of their workroom, and
Hmm.
I don't think she understands that France and Spain have much better ones, but that's fine. Let her live her
Hmm.
fantasy.
Yeah. No
Um,
one from France is here.
no one for- which is weird because Rue came out and said bonjour.
Right.
And for a minute, I was like, "Oh, no one told her. Like, no one told
Yeah.
her there were no French queens." But almost immediately, there's some traitors-esque, Survivor-esque Big Brother alliances sort of in the work, and Mariah wants what is known as the special relationship. Google it if you don't know what it is.
Hmm.
In the
Hmm.
UK and the American queens. The UK queens, smartly, as I would say in 2026, are not so sure they want a relationship with the US at this moment. So
Hmm.
they're not really committing. But it was interesting that they were all going for alliances. Also, Kate sort of gives away she may not stick by her UK sisters down the road. Did you catch any of this, Evan? Any other thoughts on
Oh,
alliances?
Oh, I did because there's two things that happen right at the gate. First off, we do have this kind of UK alliance. You know, the sisters going to look out for each other. And listen, I think with Kate and I think with Sminty, yeah, there's something to be there. They have different lanes. They can check out each other's backs over there. And Zahira is also here. But Zahira, she's ready to win. But then while that's happening, there's also at the same time the not so secret kind of sort of Philippines alliance that's happening over here.
Quiet though. They're a little quiet.
A little more quieter and it's a little looser, but like I do kind of like that it's happening. But they are operating under the idea that this is going to be standard Drag Race UK rules of just eliminating the thing, which it makes sense. Why would they change it, Greg? Why would they possibly change it? I don't know. All I know is that this episode will play out in a certain way, but also we'll see how it works out. For anyone who just watched our coverage of Drag Race Canada season 6, the queen who won said she was going to do alliance with everyone, and then it just kind of fell apart at the last second. It didn't really matter. But it's fascinating nonetheless. I don't know how necessary these are going to be, but we'll see how it plays out.
I did think there was some other fun stuff in here. Before they go, I think they may have actually come in to the workroom the next day. And they have some conversations in front, and Mariah talks about the US sort of going into the dark ages and about a culture war coming back to the US, which I was like, wow,
Mhm.
we're getting into this right away. So either you think Mariah might
Definitely not prompted by a producer, not
no,
at all,
not
not
at
one
all.
bit.
So either you think Mariah's going home pretty soon, or Mariah just wants to get it out because listen, Mariah's really good friends with oh my God, who's the queen who is our Riverside queen who went home?
River
Uh,
Medway?
no, 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 from the U.S. She's show.
Oh, Darlene Mitchell?
No, 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 from Riverside. She's friends with Raven, and she's like Mayhem, Mayhem
Oh,
Miller.
yes. Yes.
So Mariah is friends with Mayhem. She knows what can happen to a Black American queen on Drag Race
Hmm.
UK, or
Yep.
actually any Black queen on Drag Race UK any season. You can do your research and find that out yourself.
Yeah.
Um, but also, Sminty teaches Gawdland and Minty how to do a UK accent, which I thought was sort of cute and funny. Also,
Incredible.
Gawdland and Minty definitely forming a little like,
Well,
hey, we
something,
may have
something.
performed at the
Hmm.
same venues in Asia sort of alliance. Um, but that's it's time. It's super quick. It's already time to do the talent contest for an hour and 15-minute episode. Like this went fast.
Yeah.
And Ru comes out in one of the for a season of US where she has killed it almost every week on the runway. This dress was horrible. It's a swash of fabric just laying on her. And the wig was bad. Did you like Ru's look? Because I thought it was terrible.
So Michelle's look I thought was fantastic. I thought I love this kind of red leather latex
Me
thing she's
too.
got going on. It's different. It's interesting. Graham is in a suit. Loreen thinks she's Stevie Nicks. Like there's a
That's
lot
by
of
the
great
way,
things.
that is Loreen's thing. Those nails, that is her.
Uh-huh.
That is like she never goes. I don't even think she goes to the corner store in Stockholm without those. Like that's her thing.
Yeah. She looks great. Let's be real. I thought it was fantastic. It was lovely. But yeah, we're ready to go, Greg. It is that time. I can't is it still Zaldi? Do we know? Is it officially still Zaldi?
It is, so I think it is Zaldi. Zaldi does have like a factory, meaning like he has a bunch of different designers that work under him because he does so much stuff.
Got it.
So I think he sort of like says, you do this, you do whatever.
Mhm.
I just will say I am genuinely thankful that they have paid more attention on the US season this year, and Rue has looked freaking awesome.
I
Uh,
would agree.
so
I would
far,
agree.
knock on wood so
Yes.
far. But we also do find out, and we'll remind you later, the runway will be for Queen and Country, which is Home
Mhm.
Nation looks. But before then, it's time for the RuRuVision, which Loreen wishes she could have entered and won a third Euro RuRuVision. Up first is Fontana. Um, Evan, you are our musical journalist. What did you
Mhm.
think of her song and her performance?
I'm gonna be so real with you, Greg. I thought it was adequate. It's the kind of thing where it's like, yes, I know she has a big reputation of what she has done. I know that she is, clearly a top tier performer. She's up against a standing glitter board and basically does it for handstands and things like that. She does acrobatics and splits. I thought it was kind of chunky. I thought like some of these things were like a little kind of rough and tumble. Like there wasn't just like that cleanliness that we get out of some queens we see later. Like it was fine. It was entertaining, but it was not a top tier performance, if I'm being so real with you.
So it's funny watching this, it reminded me why I thought she was never going to win. Because when
Hmm.
she performed on Sweden, she was like this. There was always a smoothness to her performance that was always missing. She always
Hmm.
did seem a little chunky. She could do the splits, she could move, she could do whatever, but there's a little bit of a I don't know what I don't she's a little bit of a Hell's Kitchen like queen, like where it just isn't 1,000. She's not smooth like
Right.
Petite Noir or Juicy Love or Anitra. Like that's not right there. And I remember that now.
Mhm.
It's weird when you can say Plain Jane is a more smoother lip syncer performer than Fontana. But I love her. I will say this. I thought you might notice this as a music journalist, and I don't
Uh-huh.
criticize you. She starts the song off in this super low octave.
Yeah.
Was awkward. Like it, and I
Uh-huh.
was like, because I was like, I thought she could sing, and then
Uh-huh.
it goes to the chorus, and the register goes up, and you're like, wait,
Hmm.
that's the beautiful voice. Why did you create this song where you're singing in this low octave first? It felt like she made a mistake with her producer.
Right. Yeah. The whole thing just felt weird, and the glitter background kind of made it feel cheap in a way that I wasn't expecting. Like the whole thing was just not great. So why the judges were gagging over it is kind of inexplicable. It was the show opener, certainly, but I just kind of,
I did love the
I
hair
don't know.
whips, but
Yeah.
the circuit party flag shit,
Mama.
girl, this
Mama.
is not 1999. What is going on? Like,
Yeah.
no, maybe in Europe it's still a thing at circuit parties, but no, I couldn't. I thought she was, I thought she was safe, but maybe the runway helped later on. We'll find out. Up next is Gawdland, and I gotta be honest, I had zero expectations.
Same.
I was like, I'm not convinced that she can sing or do. I don't remember her singing, and to be honest, she's not really singing. Like she's sort of like it's a talking thing for most of it. But was it Body Cracker or Firecracker?
Firecracker, I
Firecracker.
thought.
Okay. I do love her outfit though. It is hands down, especially with the other things she wore, the best. She didn't wear uni. If you never watched Thailand, this is the best thing she's ever worn in terms of a performance outfit. Like so good, stylish and cool and whatever. And then she's in the middle of this song, which is sort of fun, and she pulls out a gigantic sort of fire gun and sort of eats the fire, which makes Ru and everyone. And by the way, the other queens are also like, "Oh my God, is she okay? What is she doing?" And maybe she put some protection in her mouth. I hope she did, because I
Some
just
dental
am
dam.
imagining Pangina back in bed
Yeah.
watching the footage of this, being like, "Girl, no, you weren't supposed to do that." Like craziness. But she did ate. She ate fire. She ate. Evan, any thoughts on Gawdland?
Just impressed. She's just a delight. She's just so entertaining. And remember, when we watched Thailand season 3, the first episode was a talent show. And baby, there was not a lot of talent. There was not. And Godwin was on that and did not impress. And here she is. Like, it's the kind of thing where, like, it's an upbeat, stupid dance pop number that you'd expect to see at a club. And she's doing it. And, like, the fire gun with the sparks and everything, like, it's wild. The promo look, the photo of this performance that is on the official socials is incredible. Like I'm just overall just gobsmacked. It was such a pleasant surprise to see this work out. It was great.
You know what wasn't a great surprise, Evan? Is Zahira's secret sissy song. So I get what she's trying to do, but when the problem is when the pit crew member who is dressed in terrible drag is a little sexier than you in drag, it's sort of a problem and a distraction. Because he sort of stole the whole number, even when she's doing the male voice. You're sort of like, well, that's the more interesting part than whatever thing you're singing. I I get what she was trying to do. I thought it was trying to be different. It was thought out. I
Uh-huh.
just didn't think it played out like she hoped it would. Any thoughts on this? Was she a better singer than I'm remembering? What did you think?
Love the look. I think she looks interesting with this toilet seat look that she has on her, this blue ruffle thing circling her face. It's great. You definitely want to sit on her. But the thing is that like overall the song is just okay. Like again, Secret Sissy, there's some fun to it, but it also kind of like then just kind of devolves. Like it's a one note song. And listen, I know you have 60 seconds, 70 seconds, whatever, to try and fit all your ideas in that you can. It just was so stilted. And like the judges seem to be laughing at it. They seem to have a good time with it, but it's also just kind of left me feeling kind of empty. Like again, we just saw Gawdland eat sparks. Like I'm sorry, this it's got to be hard to one up it at this point, and it's just and then my whole vibe with Zyra this entire time is that she somehow between her last season and this season seems to have gotten under the idea that I'm fucking amazing. And as time is proving, it's not what happened. That you're doing adequate, sweetheart. Like it's truly it's I don't know where the disparity is. I
Oh my
truly
God,
don't.
you nailed it. You so nailed it. She was just like, I went home eighth, but I'm fucking the bitch, girl. I am it. This song,
It's like
you know what this song reminded me of? Have you seen Drag Race Live, right? In Vegas?
yes.
It's like the song that they originally were going to have after I'm looking in the mirror, like that mirror song. And then they were like, no,
Uh-huh.
cut it. Like, we don't need
Yeah.
it. Like, no, it didn't work in rehearsals. Cut. And it's sort of a little that. It's like a bad Leland, like, by the way, rest in peace, Gabe. For those of you listening, if you were unaware, the Leland's long time, I'm getting very serious here.
Oh, that's okay.
Leland's long time drag race writing and songwriting partner on many, many songs, passed away from lymphoma this week. There's a post.
Freddie Scott?
No, no, it's his name's Gabe.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up really quick so I can
No worries.
correct. Um, it was very sad.
I didn't even hear about this,
Oh,
honestly. So
I
yeah,
apologize.
exactly. Yeah.
I thought I sent it to you. Uh, uh, hold on one quick second here because they post so much.
You are good, sir.
Okay. Over the weekend. Yeah, and I cannot find it. which is wild because they put a massive post on World of Wonder about it. Um, but he was he had been Emmy nominated for writing
Mm,
song. I interviewed him many times. He
mm,
actually worked quite often for Drag Race and a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, it reminded me of a song that he and Leland would have written, and it that went wrong, and it 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 definitely did. Um, but anyway, to bring it back to fun, now that I brought the room down with this passing, uh, up next, what any other thoughts on this Zyra song that we probably spent way
please no. Please, I don't want to
no
have
more,
more thoughts.
no
Please, I'm
more
done.
thoughts, no more thoughts. Up next was oh wow, Melinda Verga. And you know what? I feel like we all learned after All Stars 2 that if you don't have to sing live, if you aren't Jinx Monsoon, don't do it. Like, just don't. And guess what? Melinda decided that she was going to not only sing live, but an original song that sounded like it was from some random Christian camp where the world is going to be wonderful and beautiful and great. Um, yeah. And it's also not very Eurovision coded, which was a huge part of the problem. And I'm just going to be honest, I wrote Graham looks pained. He looks pained watching her. The lyrics are so generic. She's like, "Will we ever say the world is free?" Someone wrote that. Someone wrote that down. And Sminty says, "Some of us were made for lip syncing." Evan, would you like to chime in on Melinda Verga's talent show?
You know what she should have done? To be so real with you, she should have covered PhiPhi O'Hara's number from All Stars 2. I'm coming out tonight. I'm gonna lose my mind. I think that would have been that would have been way funnier if you ask me personally. I think she would have. And to her credit, later in the episode, she admits that she was had a
Yeah.
cold, blew her voice out, something like that. And
Is
so was
that what
on,
it
but she
was?
went through with it.
Is that what it
Yeah.
was? It was a cold?
Yeah.
It was your
She said
voice?
I think she said she blew her voice out for some reason or something like that. Like it was she was recovering and still did it. And
No,
you
I
know.
know that's what she said, but she still thought that song was good.
Let's make love at the club tonight. It's truly incredible. And you know, rest in peace, PhiPhi O'Hara, since you're now Jeremy, and I know you love drag, but you're still incredible for everything that you've done. But yeah, just it's a disaster. It's great. It's lovely. It's fun.
Well, thank God we were able to cleanse that from our brains, sort of, with the only Naomi's blonde, pretty basic song. She says she's the ultimate sausage sissy. So here's the thing: she can't really sing. It's more
Hmm.
like a sing talking thing. But it's funny, and she's trying to make Rue laugh. So she's doing the right thing to do well in the competition. She has thought this
Hmm.
out. It's a fun production. I had noticed before it ever came up in Untucked, which we'll talk about later. She was a little awkward. Like she was slipping. I don't know if the heels were too high, but she wasn't prepared for the stage. But there were a couple times where it's like, oh, you thought this was a good walk and it's not. Um, but then she trips on purpose at the end of it and looks up and says, "Not the baby oil again." And Rue just like guffaws. What did you think of
Stop that trade.
Stop that train? Um, what did you think of Blonde, Pretty, and Basic, Evan?
Low key, I feel like she's trying to do what Le Grand Dame does. Not that in the music remixing thing, but in terms of that kind of awkward tall girl fashion comedy thing. Like, and Le Grand Dame, unfortunately, is so much better at it. Like, I thought it was fun. I thought it was good. If anything, I thought this is safe. Like, I didn't think that this was like an incredible all-timer performance. Like, we've seen things like this. We've seen jokey shit. We've seen James Mansfield do similar on fucking All Stars 8, that iconic season. But like, it's I don't know. It's just like it was fine. It was good. I got to see a different side of of her, but like it just didn't stick with me in any predominant way. You know, it's when I think the top tier Drag Race All Stars performance of all time is of course
Oh,
Wig from All Star 6 by the Wigstress herself. I thought it was like it's a hard bar to pass.
I mean, I
Serena
loved
Chacha.
I loved Gawdland, but she would make the top 10 all-time performances I've ever seen. Like maybe top 20, maybe
Right. Right.
25. Like there's been
Right.
first of all, there's so many amazing España and France. Like there's so like I plus the US one, like I yeah, that's a high bar.
Yeah.
Um I will say thank God that Mariah Balenciaga came out. God, can you imagine if it was Mariah Carey?
Oh,
Um and I
we
here's
love a
the
moo.
thing. I
We
wanted
love a
to like
moo.
this. I wanted to because initially I liked the melody. I was like, it was giving
Hmm.
me house music vibes. And I was like, maybe she's going to stop talking. Maybe it will eventually be singing or like some housey thing. No, that's not what it was, Evan. It was I'm not really sure what it was. In fact, I don't even remember the lyrics. What was she talk singing about?
She was talking about injustices and healing the
Yes.
world, and you know why it sounds so familiar, Greg, is because this is her All Stars 5 performance, basically, again. Because do you remember in All Stars 5, she came out, it was in a white dress, and then she had like a glass panel, and she had blood, and she put a handprint on it and smeared it. This is in front of Ricky Martin during the All
Oh
Stars 5 talent
yeah.
show. And she did, and so like the other queens are like, oh, she's being poetic. Ricky Martin commented like, when you're doing these things, you're speaking with your ancestors and whatnot. But she was doing kind of almost a semi-political performance piece. Now, in the context of filming something for fucking RuPaul's Drag Race, there's not as a lot of like nuance you could get in here, but this performance that she did here on UK Versus was kind of the same thing. Just instead of primal drums from her All Stars 5 one, this is more synthy. It had like more synth washes as she does this speak singing thing, but it's like it's kind of the same thing. And it's a little bit hard to do like political stuff when you have such a limited time frame to go into. It's like a Janet Jackson song,
Yeah.
Injustice. No. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm generally a fan of Injustice, but it's such a generic concept that I can't really like articulate it. So if she was bolder or more specific, I think that would be one thing. Instead, it's just like, I am an activist, and here's my activisty song. And it's like, okay, like that's kind of the sense that I get left with. I like the sense that she's doing something different. I just wish that there was more impact because I don't really have substance to go off of. And that's kind of the problem with now two performances that we've seen from her in an All Stars format.
Why did she have a reveal? And why was it to a, by the way, stunning bodysuit underneath? Like it was gorgeous. But
Yeah.
why was there a reveal? I don't remember.
That is to be revealed at a later time, Greg. I think that's
All
it
I,
was.
all I know, Evan, is Rue had this look on her face where she was telling herself, God damn it, I'm gonna have to send home another American early.
Hey, maybe she will maybe she'll turn it around. You never know. It's gonna be a whole
You never
thing.
know.
Yeah.
You never know. But you know what Gawdland said? I would
What?
not love it for myself. I would not want to do this for myself. And I loved her honesty. You know what?
Truly.
You know what? On Thailand, that would have seemed bitchy, but here it felt right. It felt
hmm
right.
hmm
Uh, Speaking of what felt right, Sminty Drop.
hmm
Uh, I don't even know how to describe this. All I know is in all caps, I wrote, "Oh my God, I love this. It was hilarious. It was funny. I probably should have watched it one more time before we did this podcast." Can you talk about what Smitty did? First of all, she's already been robbed again because she should have been at the
hmm
top two.
hmm
About this incredible, hilarious performance.
All I can say is that she says that the one thing that she's known for is her sad twerk that she did when she exited her season of UK season 4. And all I can say is that she turned it into a whole song, and it's stupid. It is incredibly stupid. She's twerking this way, she's twerking that way. She's going around and then threatening to kill the judges. Which is amazing, but like she's just doing it. Like she just is the full. Like this is the kind of the thing that I think only Naomi was trying to go. She was trying to go for a fashion model, being like, I am kooky and crazy, but she actually is. And the fact that she full tilt embraces it when she does like the like stop motion, like I can't stop, I'm on fire, I'm malfunctioning thing, like full glam bot. I'm just like, Yes, I was just so delighted by it. Stupid, it knows it's stupid and just embraces the stupid. Everything you want in a drag race performance. Everything I want. Check, check, check. Done. One of my favorites of the night, hands down.
Hands down, and also arguably funnier than what the comedy queen from UK eventually did, which was fine. We'll get to it. But
Yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah.
like, this is so great. Like, I think she surprised them.
Hmm.
What was less surprising was Minty Fresh doing Planet Fresh, which, by the way, they cut this like they got in and out of this in the edit super quick. I think they didn't want to focus on it because I think they thought it was eh. Um, she also started in a lower octave, which made me think it was a mistake. But it went sounded better when she got sort of went up. All I'm going to say is whatever this was, the lasers weren't a bad idea. The smoke
Yeah.
was too much. Like,
Hmm.
did not need the smoke at all because it didn't look good on TV. It probably looks great in a club, but did not need it there. Um, and yeah, I just thought it was eh. I was not impressed. What did you think of Planet Fresh?
I what was that? What was that song that Elvox sang during UK season 7? A Drag Race original song was her song, making fun of original songs that drag queens do as a
Yes.
song. That's and then immediately they had Bones go after that. Well, this I think what she was actually writing about was this song because this is a generic ass fucking drag queen song. Let me tell you, Planet Fresh, I'm so fresh. Come on, Mama Ru, I'ma snatch the crown. Like that's not what she said, but she might as fucking well have. Bland, boring, dull. I don't care. I'm sorry. I've seen it all before, and the smoke was just bad. I've seen better performances of it. It was too much smoke for the laser effect. It just I'm done. I'm
I
good.
feel
Thank
like
you.
I think Eva LaQueen had a better song on Global All Stars than this.
Yeah, she had a thing where she took out a sword and stabbed a giant dinosaur in an inflatable outfit. It was
Yes.
funny
Oh
as
my
all goddamn
God.
hell. Hello,
Yeah.
like she was in
I
the top for it. I'm just yeah, just
yeah.
sorry, Minty. I love you. You have a lot to live up to. Hope you pull it off.
Uh, Up next is the winner. I'm sorry. Kate Butch comes out. And here's the thing: she's singing live. She can absolutely sing. This is her bread and butter. This is how she makes her money. She is a started off as a pub queen, singing songs with whatever with patrons. Like she knows how to do this like in her sleep. I thought it was funny, but I just thought it was too much about her first season. Every lyric, every reference was about that, and I thought it was and maybe that's good to get the viewers on your side in the UK, but I also felt like it was too much. She sort of like crossed the line of what it should be, but she did make Rue and Loreen laugh, which is important, and I did think based on what she'd done in the past, her performance outfit was an improvement. I thought it looked sparkly and classy, and I was impressed at least with that. What did you think of Kate Butch?
We've seen the Prattle song happen before. We actually saw it in the last UK version of the world when it was Scarlet Envy who did something similar. Have a generic line about taking the crown. Like we've seen this shit. We've even seen it in France. Like we've seen it in all those different seasons and iterations over here. This of you want to talk about a Prattle song? This was a good one. This was, I thought, a very, very good one. Kate's still funny. Kate knows the joke. She knows the timing. And she actually has a pretty decent voice. Not a great voice, but like a pretty decent voice. Like this is classic pub. This is well done. I enjoyed it. Did I think it was a top performance? No. But if you were like edging that line between safe and top, like I think that kind of straddles it. Like that's kind of how I thought it was. Did the job she needed to do. Could have been funnier. Could have been whatever. But like it was great. Fantastic job. I know what I'm getting when I see a Kate Butch performance, and she gave me exactly that, so I can't complain.
You know what I didn't know what I was getting is what Serena Moreno did next. Morena did next. Evan, I still don't really know how to explain this. She goes on a bed and she's singing. I don't even know. I had problems understanding what she was actually singing, what the lyrics were, but I think she's playing with a vibrator under a pillow and it charges her hair. And like all I know is Rue laughed. But I couldn't really understand what it was. And just I my thought was bless production for helping her do the electric hair thing and make it work on
Hmm.
stage. What was this? Can you give us a dissertation under 20 minutes about what this was?
All I know is that she loves her vibrators. I don't. Again, Greg, it's an orgasm to be here. I don't know if you know this. And it is like, I'll be honest, it was fucking great because at first I'm like, is she just gonna do a song about a vibrator, and she has a pillow over her crotch, and she's doing a song about a vibrator. Oh no, it's inside me. Like she's just saying all the and I'll be honest, like I gotta be honest, it's one of my favorite terms. She gave me wackadoo energy, absolute wackadoo energy, and it's the kind of thing where it's like I fucked with it really hard. Like I was just like, I never got to see the side of her on Drag Race Mexico, so I was just like low key, just like delighted the entire time. Um, and I'll argue this in a little minute, Greg, but I think she should have been in
Oh,
the top five over at least one of the other queens. I'll just say that much.
well,
But I don't think she deserved to win. But I had a great time with her performance overall. I was very impressed.
well,
Miss
before we
Cookie.
get to that, it's time for the
Yes.
Indian country uh,
Mm.
runway. Up first was Fontana in a Mamma Mia look, supporting a Swedish crown. Um, I liked it. I thought it was cute and fun. And later on, when she stood on stage, that wig was to die for. Like it was
Yes.
coiffed and perfect. By the way, there's no way that is an Admira Thunderpussy fucking wig. Like hands down,
Hmm.
she did that for her. I'm convinced. I thought it was cute. What did you think?
Exact same thing. It was fun. It was lively. I love that spinning crown technology that they have for dresses now. I remember seeing Jimbo do something similar with it on her post Drag Race tour things. But like, yeah, it was fun. It was great. Her face. There's something about her mug, Greg, and I can't exactly put it. Fontana just always has like the same stamp. Like I feel like I rarely see it deviate from like just kind of the standard pretty beat. And like nothing wrong with that. I kind of wish there's a little bit more diversity in it. But hey, for episode one, maybe I'll clock that later. For now, lovely look.
Lovely look. Gawdland followed, and she's doing a Thai lobster look, which, by the way, I didn't even know lobsters were in Thailand, but I'm an
Uh-huh.
idiot. I don't realize lobsters are all around the world, which they are. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was a cute gown. This feels very Pangina, like assisted, sort of coded. What did you think about it?
Same. Like it's kind of like exactly what you want out of Drag Race. It is stupid and it's fashion at the same time. There's enough glitter on here. The headpiece is phenomenal. Like all these little elements kind of come together. I'm just like, girl, she like I don't think she's taking it after one episode, but she might be taking it. I am. This is a complete turnaround from Thailand. And remember, she was top four in Thailand, but we had misgivings about a lot of that season. And so the fact that she's really kind of embracing it and being even wackier and goofier, I'm like, okay, I'm down. I'm down.
I'm down for it too. Zafira, uh,
Zahira!
Ira was next in this gold look where
Fuck
I can't
off.
remember what she's actually trying
Fuck
to
off.
reference.
Fuck off with this shit. It's so
I like the
stupid.
headpiece, but I can barely remember the look like itself. Like, what did you think?
So imagine, if you will, a elaborate headpiece with five big bends around you, except they all have kind of like this clamshell thing. It's all painted gold, so it all kind of blends together. But all the timepieces are set to three. Why? Because she was on season. No, she was set to four because she was on season four. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Or three because it's you give her world three. I don't give a fuck. And then after that headpiece, she then has kind of like pirate ruffles going on, and then kind of a golden dress, and she has a tie, and she has a watch that she's holding on her hand, and that's kind of it. And it's just like for something that is so based in Big Ben and history, like Big Ben is so small. Like I'm kind of remembering when it was Utica Queen when she did that one runway where she was her earrings and she's telling Michelle, "I'm my earrings," and Michelle's like. Okay, so this little small detail that the judges can't see from the stage, that's what you are? I'm my earrings. Cool. And that's what I get here. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
great.
you're Big Ben, the first word of which is big, and you have these tiny little eye pieces in your head. Like I don't know. I see what she's going for. I think she completely missed the mark, personally.
Speaking of missing the mark, Melinda Verga was next, and this is a basic cowboy look that's stoned a little bit. And the only compliment I can give it is it probably looks better under these lights than it would on the Canada set. So I guess that looks slightly better. But girl, you went all the way across the Atlantic. You had weeks and months to like work on shit. And this is what you decided to bring? Evan, what is going on with Melinda?
We need to get a GoFundMe for me, just specifically so I can pay for like a little panel, like when they do that Drag Race challenge, like who's the dirtiest queen, and they hold a thing and has someone's face on it. I need something like that, except it just says drag closet because I need to get that panel ready to hold up at any point. Because girl, fucking drag closet, it is like I'm here referencing all the cowboys that have been here through Canada's past. I'm like, okay, drag closet. Like, I'm sorry, this looks like there's like ketchup on it. Like it's just I know she's trying to go for bedazzled and fancy. It looks piss poor. I like it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't want to be honest. It's really not bad. It's just so
No,
generic. Yeah.
comparably, it's bad.
Comparably,
Like it's
yes.
totally bad. Not what was not bad is the only Naomi who comes as the Cologne Cathedral, and
Hmm.
I thought it was absolutely stunning. Except I did not think she needed the flag. I thought the flag
Thank
was a
you.
distraction.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
think she overthought it. That it would have worked on its own as just the cathedral, and it would have been beautiful. I think she actually did a disservice to the main look by including that flag. But
Hmm.
it was beautiful. And then when she later on was on the runway and they went up, the detail on it was phenomenal. Like
Hmm.
Loreen was blown away. Like and so was I. I thought it was fantastic. Any other thoughts?
Yeah. Just again, the flag was just so unnecessary. And I felt bad because you have the structured tier of the cathedral coming up out of the bodice, and then you have like these looser kind of like matching grayish fabrics, and that's like fine. The flag of Germany just clashed with that, and I just wish she condensed it a little bit more. I get what she's doing, but you could just be the cathedral. Otherwise, a great look. I still love my girl. It's just critiquing at this point. It's splitting hairs.
Mariah did a black cowboy look, which you have to take it in context. Like this was only maybe a couple months, 6 months, maybe more, maybe a little longer after Cowboy Carter and Beyonce, and the tour hadn't even started yet. So it was sort of in the like ether, and she was probably thinking about that while she was working on it. I thought it was an interesting idea. She did not need the mustache at all. And I thought it sort of distracted from what she was going to do. But I guess it makes it drag. But did it make it drag or did it make it costumey? You tell me.
The mustache was the best part. Are you kidding me? Because
Oh,
without the mustache, what is this? This is like Melinda Verga, another like basic ass cowboy look. Like I'm sorry, like yes, Canadian American cowboys, whatever. That's great. Like it just I am forgetting it the more I think about it. And the mustache I thought was the most distinctive part because at least it put it into the realm of camp comedy of like you could do a little bit of fuckery with that. It just drag closet again. Where's my panel? I want to hold it up.
yeah, I get it. Sminty Drop comes out in a gorgeous swan look, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, it just needed something else.
I
And I,
agree. I fucking
and
agree.
I
I
didn't
fucking
couldn't
agree.
figure out if is it like needed just a hint of
Like
sparkle
a
or
necklace, just a little
yeah,
something, like just a little
maybe
bit more flash and dazzle.
or maybe even like the hair needed something else, like or needed to be a little more impactful. I think it would be a beautiful look on a specifically lit fashion runway. I think it got
Hmm.
a little overshadowed by
Washed.
everything
It got a
washed
little
here.
washed. Yeah.
And I'm sure she can do a bunch of like photo shoots of it that look absolutely incredible. But there was something missing. But I still thought she was making a statement. She was telling all the other girls, watch out. Uh,
Hmm.
and I was impressed. Speaking of impress, oh wait, did you have any other thoughts on it before?
Oh, Greg, are you going to gloss over the most insane quote from the entire episode, said by Miss Minty Drop?
What did she say?
Swan Lake, more like Swan Fake Tan, which
What does that even mean?
I, girl, listen. I love being gay, and sometimes gays are just absolutely stupid, and that is one of those best, smartest, stupidest quotes I've heard of. I get her humor. I really do. I would say something like that. It was so amazing. I love that that even exists. That's all I'll say.
I do too. I need to go find a clip of that. But speaking of gorgeous, for the most part, Minty Fresh sort of redeemed herself from her performance.
Hmm.
This uh, patchwork look inspired by the thrift shops in the Philippines, and I sort of loved it. It might have been a little too purple for me. There might have been too much purple, like going through a personal.
Hmm.
And I do like purple, but there was something about this purple that was a little off. But I just thought it was really good. A friend of mine, though, said that the more you looked at it, the more it looked unfinished. And I didn't notice that, but I maybe one of our fantastic viewers or listeners can chime in on that. But what did you think of Minty's look?
I thought it was fantastic. I really did. Like, I can't think of a better word for like kind of the shape of it. I just think a pagoda hat is like the
Yeah.
way that it's like shaped specifically, but like the details are all there. Now, I actually have it pulled up in front of me right there, and like there's a loose sleeve, there's like kind of like rounded corners on some of the things, and like I don't know, I kind of think like the whole idea is that it's a trash is treasure thing. She's not explicitly
Yeah.
designing it to be a little bit more. And yeah, maybe you could have refined it if you want to be a little bit more specific, but for its intended purpose, for the way she stated it, I thought it looked great. I got like, grab any fabric you can kind of chic. Thought it was a great idea. Thought it was well executed. Absolutely redeemed herself. It was lovely.
Speaking of well executed, Serena Moreno comes out and she is wearing, I can't remember what the inspiration was, but it's like a traditional Mexican look. But she does have a specific reference. Do you remember what she said?
I can't remember specifically off the top
Yeah.
of my head now.
My thoughts was it pops, it's dramatic, and I did love the color scheme. But I did think that the cape and the arms, it was a little too plain. Like it was a little
Hmm.
like for what the center of it was, which had such detail. And I know you don't want to overwhelm someone with a look. I just thought it was a little too much just hanging red fabric that didn't sort of have a purpose. But I loved the center part of it. The headpiece was great. And she made a statement with it. And also, it's probably better than anything she wore on Drag Race Mexico season one. So props to you, Serena. What did you think?
So in the centerpiece, there was kind of a Virgin
Okay.
Mary kind of like a thing that was kind of carved out there, which I thought was lovely. But yeah, there's like blue, there's red, there's contrasting colors. I do agree that the fabric that she had on the arms was a little bit basic and generic. There could have been some ruching, there could have been some elements there. This giant multi-tiered headpiece that she has is a statement. I thought it worked well with the dress. I low-key was impressed with her this entire episode. Like that's the thing. She really came out swinging for someone who I lovingly refer to as part of the B squad in this cat. Serena Moreno's really here to take it. I don't think she's going to win at this point, let's be real, but at the same time she's doing enough things to kind of bring her out of whatever the fuck she was in, the situation she was in with Drag Race Mexico. So far, very surprisingly happy, genuinely.
So, just in case anyone knows, clearly when Serena is booked at Club Poppy in LA, Evan will be there buying the first ticket, paying $10 to get.
Absolutely. Maybe the fifth ticket, but I will still support her. I think I just very happy. I was just very delighted by this. So yeah, this is what you wanted in All Stars, baby.
Yes, 1000%.
Exactly.
Last but not least, Kate Butch, and Jesus Christ, she has to pull it out in the first episode.
Hmm.
Vivian Westwood inspired. She has to say it in earshot of Melinda. If you know, you know.
You
Um,
know, you know.
so it is a political statement on colonialization of the UK Empire and of sort of the not so great things they did for centuries on end. Um, and so here's the thing. I appreciated that it's made of like vintage flags and it's this dirty flag, the Union Jack. There is blood on her hands, but it's represented as like not real blood or gel or silicone, but like these
Hmm.
little um
Like dried almost, and then there's the little rubies kind of hanging down a little bit.
rubies.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't think that part of it played very well. I thought she kept having to do it, and I was like, I don't know if I was on the judging panel, this would click to me right away. It's supposed to be blood. So maybe I would have gone in a different direction with that, but I appreciated what she was doing. I did think it was a super well made outfit. I just didn't think that her message 1000% came through with it. I have heard though that since this episode went up, she's gotten a lot of hate mail or hate DMs from people in the UK who felt she went too far.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sort of shocked. Um, but I in general, I thought it was a strong look, and for even my fault with it, I don't remember her ever wearing anything on her season that came close to being this couture. What did you think?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. And it's interesting because like it doesn't have that necessarily immediate wow impact because it's like so fashionable. Like it has a dramatic point and it feels so well studied and cultured, and I just love that she went with these slightly dampered colors. Like it just hits. And I love that she was willing to take that risk. And who knew that Kate Bush would have more of a political statement to make, but she does it. It's effective. I just overall, I was just great night for her. I don't want to say this is similar to like Tia Kofi's run, where she like was funny and entertaining, and then is finally able to turn it around like with some good runways and like a more polished package here. But like kind of getting that vibe. This is bold and daring and something you can only do when you have a little bit more money and fashion sense. And good honor. Yeah.
Good honor. So we quickly find out that no one is going home, and everyone is safe except for Sminty, Kate Butch, the only Naomi, Fontana, and Gawdland. We also find out that the top two queens of the week will lip sync for the win, and the others will be left behind to wash Rue's car. So,
Yes.
Evan, you had some thoughts about who should be in the top five and who shouldn't. Who did you not think should be there?
So if I'm being so real with you right now, I think that Gawdland and I think Kate Butch and I think Sminty absolutely earned their places. I think that is absolutely true. Only Naomi, great runway, less good of a performance personally over here. And Fontana, as we heard about, I thought was chunky funky on her performance. Pretty good runway. I would have swapped one of those two out with Serena Moreno. Just putting it out there. That's my own hot take. That's my own thoughts. Greg, do you agree or disagree?
I was sort of okay with the top five. I wasn't
Okay.
mad at them.
You'd put
Zahara.
Sahira in the top. Yeah, I
Oh,
know. I get it.
oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh boy, we'll get to that. Uh, but I don't really I didn't have a lot of thoughts on the judges' critiques. Did you have any in specific that sort of popped to you that Loreen or anybody sort of said to the queens?
Not really. I'm looking over it right there. They had a lot of love for Gawdland, but yeah, I didn't have any huge critique. I just thought that went way overboard talking about how good the Fontana performance was when I was kind of with
We
it. But that was
did.
really my biggest thing. So yeah.
I'm wondering if it's one of those things where in person it felt more energetic. Like
Yeah.
again, we talked many times on the show that
Hmm.
if you're not in the room, sometimes the energy you don't feel it. It can swing something one way or the other. It's
Hmm.
not always producer meddling. Mostly it
Hmm.
usually is, but sometimes it's not always. But I was more interested about what happened in the workroom because
Hmm.
Queens.
Hmm.
I mean, I'll say this: they did not cast wallflowers.
They,
Um, Zahira is pulling a Canada's drag race and is not thrilled that she's not the top. The other queens are a little like taken aback by it a little bit. Minty said that she's always grateful to be safe, but also thought she should have been at the top. And I was like, you know what? You had a great runway. You probably thought your number was good. You didn't
right.
see how the smoke sort of ruined it at the end. So I get where you
Hmm.
could think that. Um, Melinda then goes on that whole rant that you mentioned about her losing her voice, and she's like, "I know what
Hmm.
I did." So
Hmm.
who would have thought that Melinda would be the voice of reason?
Who knew in this day and
Um,
age?
and Mariah says she thought everyone was strong. She's sort of being a little like, Pollyanna peacemaker here. But then Zahira starts to criticize Naomi
Hmm.
about her walk and about how she was sort of off. And I believe it's in confessionals. Or no, tell me, did Mariah say it in front of her that Naomi needs to be able to use her legs if she's a model, or was that a confessional? That might have been a
I
confessional.
think that was a confessional, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Um, and she basically said that if they don't know how to walk, then I guess the stumble was intentional. But I did, so I don't know who someone also said basically in confessional said that Zahira is stirring the shit pot.
Hmm.
I can't remember which queen that was. It might have been Naomi. But then Naomi, and by the way, she doesn't get over emotional or any crazy about it. She does feel like they're sort of raining on her parade. And by the way, this is I should say all the queens, the winners have come back in, and they sort of go after Naomi a little bit, and she is surprised, but she's not being super emotional, sort of about it because she's already experienced the love affair between Madame Orchid and Pandora Knox that if you watch Drag Race Germany, you're well aware of. Um,
Hmm.
and it was not a love affair. But did you have any other thoughts from this sort of strange workroom reaction from
Just Zahira saying that, like, Naomi, I thought you should have been in the bottom. Like, it was just like, I mean, they were talking about that a little bit before they came in, but just being so bold about that was just fascinating. Again, I don't, Zahira came in with some good, good air under her booty right now. She's almost giving like Blair St. Clair coming back to All Stars 5. I'm a bad girl now. And it's just like, okay, Zahira, the girl we kind of sort of remember for saying this thing.
Can you
Like,
imagine if this was the third season that Blair St. Clair did and we didn't
Oh,
get Mariah?
I would be so curious. I'm not even gonna lie. I think that would be fantastic. So
Blair
yeah.
St. Clair with no shits to give because she knows she's not winning the 50,000 pounds. That would be
I
wild.
My
I
favorite thing in the world, and my husband and I talk about it all the time, is that one time in All Stars 5 when Rue tells like, Blair, you do that thing one time when you go on the runway, you do this, and they go shh, like it's a secret. Me and my husband talk about all the time, and we laugh and laugh and laugh, and it's just like, hey, remember that time that you got eliminated on my television program, and you did this one thing we thought was funny? We make fun of you all the fucking time for it. I just want you to know that. It's just like, damn. It's truly incredible. Anyways, Hira, we'll see how long you last. I'm so excited for this eventual implosion. It's gonna be great.
So the queens go back onto to the stage for the lip sync. They do not know who the top two is. They're all in their lip sync outfits, and we find out that Kate, Naomi, and Sminty, who looks just like Loreen in what she's wearing, are not doing the lip sync. I'm like,
Nope.
what? Instead, it is Gawdland who is playing with her hair across her face. Did you catch that? She takes a string of hair and puts it around her face while she's
Uh-huh.
waiting to hear. It's wild. Like Mama Pao would be so proud. Um, and Fontana are the two top queens of the week. And Evan, what do you think?
I don't know why, for whatever reason, our sweet, sweet Gauntlet has decided to dress up as Gothy Ken doll from UK season one specifically. It's an odd choice, but I'll certainly give it to her. It is also a choice. I will say that. Gauntlet looks great. That is what I'm sorry. Fontana looks great. Yeah, they seem appropriately surprised, and for a second, I'm just like, man, is this weird that the first two queens are non-UK queens? But then I realized this is actually tradition because in the UK versus seasons, first episode it was Pangina versus Jimbo, and then second episode, if I'm not mistaken, it was who was it in the first episode? Oh yeah, it was Le Grand Dame versus Marina Summers in the first
Yeah.
episode. So it is a nice tradition where a non-UK queen will lip sync in the first episode, and then I'm sure UK queen will win in the end. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a nice little break from tradition.
Evan, are you saying they have a formula with this? They 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 might just have a strategy about what they're doing the entire time.
I don't know. Well, as Alaska has said on her podcast, how can you hate on the show? They really have the perfect formula, and it's true. It's worked internationally. It's a great formula, and hey, they're applying it to the seasons as well. That's great, but let it continue. Usually, these end up as a great lip sync. Usually,
So the good news is they're lip syncing to a song I adore that I've seen Loreen perform live called Tattoo, the song that she
hmm
just won 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Uh,
hmm
her second Eurovision winner. By the way, only a handful of people have ever won Eurovision twice, and she did it like 10 years later. Super hard to do. Um,
hmm
I thought it was a good lip sync. I did not love it. I thought Fontana embodied the song a bit better, but there were moments where Gawdland sort of gave a sophistication and sexiness to it that Fontana wasn't giving because Fontana is basically giving Britney Spears. And I thought both were good, but also, did you not? I kept thinking that Gawdland's outfit was a reveal. I kept thinking
Yeah, yeah.
she was going to take it off, and she never did. And I thought that hurt her. I also feel like, in a lesson for any Thai or Philippines queen, you can't do these tricks with like the spray confetti stuff with Rue. That ain't gonna
hmm
play. That never played on US. It's never played on any season she's judged. She thinks it's cheap. She doesn't think it's cool. If you're gonna do a reveal or something like that, it has to be out of the box, something that she perhaps has not seen before, sort of think about Nymphia Wind with the balloons
Mm-hmm.
coming out. So that was like the second that Gawdland did that, I was like, oh girl, this ain't helping you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I was still somewhat surprised that our winner of the lip sync and of the first challenge, who was it, Evan? Who felt the tattoo on her shoulder?
I don't think it's that much of a surprise, if I'm being so
Ah,
real. I genuinely thought Fontana did a great job. Of course, I say that when husband and I were watching it, husband thought that it could have gone to Gawdland pretty easily. He thought it was a lot closer than that. I
yeah.
just think that Gawdland, because there was no reveal and because there was no real like change in her performance, I thought it was a little bit more stayed. I thought Fontana, because she had a little bit more of a revealing outfit, her moves were surprisingly cleaner in this than her performance, but also her face was just so open, and Fontana has a very expressive face. So
Yes.
I thought she was able to kind of get into the emotions of the song a little bit more. So for me, it was a surprise to see Fontana win. I was actually delighted to see Fontana kind of take it this early. I just wasn't expecting it after her performance in the main challenge. But yeah, we have surprises. We have a winner. We're out the gate. We're ready to go. It's a very pleasant surprise. What was your reaction?
The only other thing I'll just add about it is that if Gauntlet, if you're listening to this, and it might not matter in the end of the season, I hope you don't look at this as a missed opportunity, because if you've seen any of Loreen's performances for this
Mm-hmm.
song, she starts off sort of sexily writhing on the ground. And when Godland did that, I was like, oh, girl, this is it. But your outfit is like, you don't look sexy because it's this chunky like thing that's like getting in the way. If she had had a reveal, even if it was a bodysuit
Right.
or bra and panties, some look like that had been bedazzled, she would have easily won this, because that is the spirit of the song. It's not
Mm-hmm.
the Britney Spears thing that Fontana, I love you,
Right.
but it's not the spirit of the song. And I hope this does not come back to bite Godland in the end. But she was top two, and that's more than the other queens can say, and
Mm-hmm.
that's good on her. So we're happy for our
Yeah.
Sweden and our Thailand queen, and somewhere upon Pangina, is dreaming that this will somehow lead to season 4. It's not going to. It's not.
Well, we will certainly see. Greg, I have to ask the question though. First off, number one, what was your just overall take on this episode? And then number two, who's winning fucking UK versus the fucking world season fucking three?
You know what I have to say? What was, and by the way, I have hinted for a whole year about how wild this cast was, and that it was C-listers for the most part, or B-listers. Uh, what I think is refreshing about it is the more I think about who might go home, like I was like, well, what if those three go home?
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, shit, the other seven are still sort of crazy and entertaining and like sort of wild. I feel like they're all interesting enough that even when it gets to the top five, it'll still be fun. And I don't know if you can always say that, but I will say UK has had a really good track record of that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're upset about who's winning at the end, the top five, the top four have always been sort of like, outside of season one, even season one, when you got to the end, it was still good queens. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm curious. I'm hope this this could be good. Could it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like I am pleasantly surprised by this cast. Like it's just such a nice thing that's happening. It's just I'm delighted. Overall, like I'm hoping for good things, but they're proving that they have talents, and I think that's the thing. It's kind of like Canada versus the World Season 3, where it's like you're getting all these queens who are doing it for a third, fourth time, whatever. What are we doing here? But they kind of had something to prove. They really brought it, and that's kind of what the vibe that I'm getting here right now. In terms of who I think is going to win,
Yes.
obviously Kate Butch has a very good chance. I would love to see the only Naomi. I'm not gonna lie. I'd love to see her make her way through. If Gawdland turns around her record, I'm willing to go on the Gawdland train. Friend of the show in the comments right there. Love you, Gawdland. Hi, it's good to see you. And yeah, I think Sminty might have a good chance as well. We'll see what happens, but like I feel like there's some more contenders than I anticipated when it's a little bit more evenly distributed.
Um, I would just knowing this show, I feel like it's maybe set up a little bit for Kate. I'm
Uh-huh.
hoping Sminty surprises. And
Mm-hmm.
I also feel as though, I had high hopes for Serena. My hopes for her are a little down, but I want Naomi to make it super far. And
Yep.
I hope that Fontana can sort of kill it. Like
Yeah.
that's my hope.
Absolutely. And the question that we now have for you, the viewer, the listener, is who do you think is going to win? Because we would love to know in the comments of the YouTube video right there. And if you're not on the YouTube, maybe you can just vote by using your rating for us on Apple or on Spotify just to give us a little bit more oomph and boomp and kind of get the name out there. Because maybe we're strapped in. We're going to be doing it all the way. And as soon as we're done with it, it's Down Under versus the World, I think, or something else. We
It
will we
should be,
will
yeah.
see. Oh
And
God, two
and, it,
versuses in the row.
and Evan, guess
Uh-oh.
what's guess what's guess what's shooting in days? It's
Stop that train.
no, they already
Reshoots.
filmed. That's done. That's it. Our queen, our the echelon, the top franchise is filming in just a couple days. Our
uh,
queen has
uh,
returned to Paris to shoot Drag Race France saison 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cats. Season cat. I'm very excited for it. Quite frankly, there's a lot of good things coming. Cam Hughes getting the gigs, baby. That's all we can say. So don't worry about her. And most importantly, you'll find more updates on all that stuff and the hobbies relationship and everything else you need right here on this channel. Thank you for so much for listening. We're always gonna be here. It's what we do all the time. We'll catch you next time, everybody. Take care. Have a good one. Goodbye.